Hey guys, welcome to the Tower Babble podcast. I'm Julian. I'm joined by Dan and Jeremy.
What's up?
The full crew's back again. Second week in a row, we're back at being consistent. We're gonna do it for real. For reals? No, we're not. We're not gonna do it for real.
I'm gonna be gone 10 days at a time, man.
Yeah. Whatever. You have Skype on your phone or whatever.
It depends if I have Wi-Fi though.
Skype from the mines.
I'll bring my laptop potentially. But anyways, keep going.
Anyway, yeah. Well, no, whatever. It's conversational, right? Jeremy?
Organic.
Sure. Why ask me?
I don't know.
Will you bring your laptop out there?
I might.
Why you want to just board to me for those things?
No, I won't.
You won't?
Isn't it lame?
I'm gonna bring it out there with me.
One of my pet peeves when someone says, "Can you borrow me something?" Isn't it? Can you lend me something? Can I borrow you something?
Yes, it is. And I know you can't just have a laptop of mine. What are you gonna do with it?
You have so much money. Go buy one yourself.
Lend it to me.
Why? What are you gonna do? Especially if it's Lent. What are you gonna spend 10 days writing?
Write a novella.
Have you edit it on your trip?
Yeah. Nope. I'll delete it. And no, you're not, because I have other stuff on there.
Okay, like porn?
Pornographic stuff, yeah.
Porno stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, first story. We talked about this partially last week, but the whole Clone Wars coming to Netflix. So there's been a trailer for the final 5th season. Which they weren't calling the 5th season for a long time. It's called The Lost Missions.
Did you talk about this last time?
Yes, but now there's a trailer for it, and you guys.
It's called The Lost Missions. Are you sure?
Lost Missions, yeah.
You're 100% positive.
Now you're making me second guess myself. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called the Lost Missions.
You should look it up.
I'm not. It's The Lost Missions. Anyway, you guys saw the trailer. What did you think? I mean, you have not watched the series, but
yeah, without having watched, but like still knowing Star Wars,
yeah.
It looks pretty awesome. Like. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot from that show because I guess the only trailers I saw were like from the earlier seasons. This looks a lot more action packed.
Yeah.
Like I actually was enwrapped watching the action in the trailer, and it didn't seem very cartoonish, which is one of the things I'm concerned about with the Rebels.
I think that's something that so with the Clone Wars, their budget was huge. They spent like George Lucas has poured his own money into it. He's like, just make it really good or whatever. So it's very big budget, which is why you had really great voice acting and all that stuff. I'm not worried about there being poor voice acting in Rebels.
And a lot of detail in the effects.
And it got much better as the seasons went on.
Like most animated
It's called
series.
The Lost Missions.
You think Green Lantern got better? I thought.
That's what I said.
Is that what you said?
I said The Lost Missions.
What did you say originally?
I said the Lost Missions.
You said The Lost Tales.
No,
really?
No, it's on tape. We don't. Anyway, people are saying that the Rebels might have a slightly smaller budget, which means there probably won't be. But that makes sense because a lot of the stories are going to be taking place on one planet anyway, so you don't need to have.
Isn't it basically the same show?
No, it's a spiritual successor. I think people like to call it. I like to call it that. It's made by the same.
I guess they're changing it up because they already have 6 seasons, so that's.
It's kind of the same.
Well,
show.
okay. Well, it's also you have to fit it in so Clone Wars was fit between episodes 2 and 3, right? Mm-hmm. And it was explained a lot about the Clone Wars, right? And
this is the other big gap.
So this is the gap between 3 and 4. It's about I think it's 5 or 6 years before episode 4, New Hope, right? That's 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it tells the story of the origins of the Rebels, which we talked about last week, and there's another new character reveal. 2 new ones, the pilot and the Mandalorian, that were revealed since we talked about it last week. So there's a female Mandalorian who's the explosive expert. She's got a cool helmet, that Mandalorian style helmet.
Yeah.
And then there's the pilot who's a Twi'lek. So she's.
They rarely give Twi'lek actual characters.
Yeah,
usually just dancers.
Usually just sexy blue creatures, and sometimes green.
That's good stuff. Diversity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know. I wasn't gonna say that.
Well,
I don't know much. It's the same kind of stuff.
It's made by the same people. So if you.
And it's not like it was canceled like the DC shows. They had their run.
Yeah. So they
6 seasons.
They told the story between they can only tell so much. There's only so much time involved right there, right?
It's kind of weird how they couldn't air the last season on.
Well,
TV,
what happened was the last season was finishing production, and then Disney bought Star Wars, right? So that's where that happened, and they were premiering on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, at least it's still coming out, so that's good.
Yeah, so it's all coming out on Netflix right away, March 8th, I want to say. Either way, the next one's going to be all on Disney XD, which has been pretty solid for at least, other than, what's it called, Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, which was I don't really care for.
Is that one still going on?
Yeah. But the Avengers one's not bad, and
I forgot about that.
But anyways, those are all.
The one before
not
that
canceled.
Avengers one was really good.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah.
That was on my that's on my list of like favorite animated series. Clone Wars is up
2
there.
seasons too.
Batman, Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Young Justice.
Young
Justice, I prefer to Avengers. I think.
The last Avengers.
Yeah.
Really?
I haven't seen all Young Justice, so I can't say anything. But
I don't know. Did it end on a cliffhanger when it was canceled?
Young Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they both did, didn't they?
Somewhat. Yeah. No. Yeah. It did.
And speaking of which,
It was like a rushed ending, but it wasn't like a full ending. Yeah.
Wait, what was the show that ended on cliffhanger with like Apocalypse and something?
oh, that was Wolverine, Wolverine and the X-Men.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
which was another good one. It was
that
like
was a good one.
That's
Yeah.
good.
but like it was so it's short-lived, and then like the last episode was like Age of Apocalypse. Never got to see any of it.
Before that was Evolution X or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, that one was that one went on for a while. And what I liked about Wolverine and the X-Men was like it was like combination of like that like animation style of like the Evolution X or whatever, and then of like this like the tone of the X-Men, like the 90s show.
And kind of the influence from the movies where Wolverine was kind of like the central character.
Yeah,
and stuff.
which they started doing in the comics too. And
Yeah.
he's still their best-selling character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Either way, Rebels looks like it's might have a little bit of a lighter tone, which
It's hard to say
about.
at this point. I watched those trailers and it seemed to be very like. I mean, light spirited is alright,
But, like, so is a lot of-
That's what Star Wars is kind of about.
It's supposed to be more in the tone of the New Hope, of that kind of storytelling and that kind of, which is the.
Just read it from the top.
What?
I have it right here. I don't want to read.
Wait, what are you guys reading there?
Ridiculous.
What do you?
The stupid friends, our friends that are stupid.
Don't be reading group chats while doing the podcast. I'm just ignoring it.
The last thing you guys says, and we all wear condoms on our heads.
I don't even want to know. But anyway, Clone Wars. What are we talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about. You totally derailed it.
Whatever. We finished Clone Wars. It's good.
Okay,
It's cool.
Yeah. Just start talking just random words. We're talking about the Constantine show that's coming to Fox. So they found their Constantine.
Keanu Reeves.
It's not not Keanu Reeves.
This guy's a good actor though.
Matt Ryan, who's from, let me if I can find it here, he's a Welsh actor, Criminal Minds, and Assassin's Creed 4.
Oh wow, okay. I'm real excited.
Well, listen,
It's fine. It has nothing to do with the actor, but I hate both of those.
He looks like he can play him like very well.
he looks like Constantine, like, you know.
Just like
put a trench coat on him.
Like a thin, rugged guy who like smokes all the time.
Yeah, I think
And he's
British.
Welsh, that's good,
Yeah,
so yeah.
exactly. So all the stuff, if he can act and he's British and he looks like Constantine, all those boxes
Isn't he
are
blonde
checked.
in the comics now?
Yeah,
30-ish,
yes.
whatever.
But,
They can mess
No, it
around
doesn't
with
matter.
that.
That's literally the least important
I know.
aspect of any character.
Also, when Keanu Reeves played him in the movie, he had
And they're also
Keanu
still
Reeves hair.
making a.
true.
They're still making
His
a
own
Justice League Dark
hairstyle.
movie.
Yeah, with who's attached to direct still? Is it Benicio del Toro still?
No.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo. Sorry, how'd you say that?
Guillermo.
Okay, thank you. Guillermo del Toro.
How do you...
He always says Benicio del Toro.
How often do I talk about Benicio del Toro?
I don't know. But he's
Benicio.
like an Academy Award-winning actor.
Excuse me. Guillermo, very similar.
You
Yeah,
can't
it
even
is
say
similar.
it. Say it.
Guillermo.
Pronounce the L.
Guillermo. Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro.
Stop saying it like that. It's Guillermo. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, anyway.
Guillermo.
The Labyrinth, the director of Labyrinth, right?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Labyrinth's a very different
Very different movie.
Very different movie.
Director
Anyway.
of Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that bullshit, but...
What? Man. It's like, not the best movie, but visually
I
quite
know.
interesting.
Which movie?
Pacific Rim.
Oh, yeah. I just finished Sons of Anarchy season 6.
Yeah?
It's pretty
I forgot
crazy.
about that shit.
How many seasons are there?
6.
Oh.
7th thing is the last one. They're coming back for one more.
That's a long
Crazy
running
things
series.
I left
happen.
off in half of season 5 when Joe McHale was on the show.
I left off.
I think he dies in that show.
I left
He
off.
probably does, yeah.
I left off after the pilot episode.
It's a good one, though.
It's a good
And-
show, but it got kind of boring after a while for me.
People
It's a
love
little
it though.
repetitive.
People
I know a lot of people love
that
it,
show.
but that's not going to make me love it.
No, I'm not saying it should. I'm just anyway.
All that matters is True Detective.
Yeah, that's the truth.
All you need to know.
I will. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. You guys see what he did there?
Yeah,
it's fun.
Cool.
Speaking of television shows and NBC, because we were just talking about the Constantine show's going on NBC.
Please don't have a Community right now.
No, but Heroes is coming back. The show that people
we didn't really care about that show.
Well, no, but it was some people like it. Some people really hated it. Apparently, the second season really sucked. Why do you like? Like, I'm trying to tell you a story, and you just like looks like pure just disinterest. Is that? I wonder if is that what like professors look like? See when they're trying to like tell something important.
I wish everyone saw his face just waiting for you, like just letting you finish.
Yeah, please tell me more, so I could not care.
But the cheerleader though in that show,
Hayden Panettiere.
He knows all about that.
She and I have the exact same birthday. She's born on my same birthday. And same year.
What on the same day?
Same day, same year.
Oh wow!
You guys are meant to be.
That was one of your
I don't know if that's how that
one of your
works.
pickup lines at the bar.
Hey, wow, we have the same birthday.
Who would be picked up by that shit?
No, you said.
No, you say. Hey, what's your birthday?
No, you didn't say that, but you said it to me one time in a vulgar way. Like, a girl has a badge, like happy birthday on her thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's my birthday too. We should fuck.
That's right. Oh no, I know what you're.
That wasn't me though. That was someone.
That was you.
It's like, it's my birthday too. Yeah. Want to go fuck? Anyway, so Heroes is coming back. You obviously don't give a shit about that, so we'll move on.
Joke, but
No, my girlfriend started watching Heroes. I don't know. I might
Just
watch it with her.
Just recently?
Yeah, just recently.
that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, there's much better shows she could probably start watching.
She needs to have her own
All you
things.
guys do is just watch TV shows, or
No, man. She's doing this on her own. I haven't even started yet.
What?
I don't know. Heroes. I don't know much about it. It's kind of like a bunch of young kids who find out they have powers, but it's not explained. And they kind of meet through.
Yeah, but you didn't watch the
chance,
show, so don't trying to explain the plot.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just saying, if they go to a school for gifted youngsters, I'm out. That's garbage. But
what happens, I think, is that the first season was really good. People really liked it. Second season was like crap, like really shitty. It's like going from season 2 to season 3 of Community.
Whatever. I think it all.
Right? Season 3 was good.
With the one without.
And it goes back to Community.
Anyway, yeah. Well, I always have to bring it back. We did talk about Joe McHale this.
Yeah, whatever. We can move on from Heroes.
Even season 4.
Anyway, but like that's people really disliked season 2. So I think it was still like kind of popular-ish. So I think they're bringing it back because NBC has a hard time making anything popular. Like their Thursday nights continue to just like. Well, they're going up against Big Bang and stuff, but like they just in the toilet constantly. So I would have liked to have read more about it before I talked about it.
Go read more, Julie. Don't let us.
No, that's all right. We're going on. Moving on. We're moving on. It's gone. What were we just talking about? I don't even know.
Next.
Everything is still awesome for the Lego. What?
We were talking about Heroes.
Oh, God damn it! I hate you. So I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but I know you will like it when you do. The Lego Movie.
We won't.
Yes, you will. You will. You'll like it, and you'll fucking tell me about it.
You liked it.
It's still number 1 at the box office this third week in a row.
Yeah,
but I mean it's the middle of February though,
most
so
children's movies are.
And it also like it can apply to any demographic.
Yeah, it's a four quadrant movie.
Nice.
Josh Logazar there. It channeled me.
We can't do that.
Space Jam 2 might be happening. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Possible. Well, maybe
starring
not.
LeBron James.
Yes, actually.
Seriously?
Yes. What? So like they're like the rumors or whatever that they were going to do Space Jam 2 and LeBron James is going to be the lead. But then like people out of LeBron
Bugs Bunny is the lead, and then
Bugs Bunny's the lead, the male lead, and his who's the girl bunny called?
Lola.
Oh, right. Lola.
I think she was made up for that movie, though, so...
No, she was not. Maybe, actually.
Yeah, I think she was, so...
No.
There have been girl bunnies, but they were never characters.
No.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I feel like Looney Tunes has been around for a long time. It'd be odd if there wasn't, like,
Not a lot of strong female characters, other than Granny. And Tweety Bird's kind of, you never know.
You never... she's... Well, yeah.
Okay, well...
It's a bird, so it doesn't have a... Birds have genders.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Wait, how does it work with birds? Because they lay eggs.
They fertilize the eggs. Male birds fertilize
we're not
eggs.
talking
They
about
have
this.
sex with and then she laid... okay.
No, she just lays the eggs and then they. I don't actually know.
No, birds have sex and then she lays an egg.
No, it's like fish. It's like
how do T-Rexes have sex?
Yeah, just like reptiles have sex and then lay eggs.
I don't think they have sex and then no.
Man, turtles have sex.
No.
Yeah, they do. There's videos on YouTube.
Well, you often watch these
No, I
videos?
just remember.
No, but like
they scream.
Birds have sex, man.
But
the turtles scream.
like with what about fish though? Like fish lay
are
eggs,
different.
and
Fish
then
don't
the,
have
and then
sex.
the males.
We're
Some
not
fish
talking
have
about this.
sex, I think.
I don't think so. Dolphins have sex,
Okay,
Not
we're
fish.
moving
but they're
on.
not fish.
Okay, we're moving on.
Fish and like frogs lay a thing of eggs and,
And
then
then
they
they
come in
fertilize. Okay.
spermatosis.
It's not. Nope. That's not
That's
a
a
word.
word.
That's
That's a fucking
spermatosis is
Look it up.
definitely. I'm not looking it up.
I'm looking it up.
Okay. While you're looking up
Okay,
spermatosis.
next story.
Okay. You know, ESPN is saying that it's not happening, but it
Whatever.
might be happening. All right, here's something a little closer to your wheelhouse there, Jeremy.
Just say the story.
Diddy Kong is joining Super Smash Bros.
Spermatogenesis.
Excuse me, what?
Spermatogenesis.
So it wasn't what you said.
That was close.
So
Okay,
admit that you
Diddy
were
Kong
wrong.
is joining.
Super Smash Brothers. It's
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Diddy Kong.
What? Diddy Kong, little known fact, Diddy Kong won the first match we played a Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care that character. I never played as him, so whatever. It's cool.
Well, it's cool that they're...
Yeah, it's fine.
It's good. It's another non-clone character,
Sure.
which I don't think they have done a clone yet. Have they said... there's no Toon Link, there's no Young Link, right?
No, there's
so.
2 links, isn't there?
I don't think
I'm
so.
sure it'll be. Again,
No,
we're
no,
talking
they're
about.
gonna bring 2 link back for sure.
Who cares about that?
Maybe they will.
guaranteed.
Maybe they will. Why?
They're
But
different
like, why?
enough.
They had one slider and not as strong and fat. Like
They play a bit differently, so it's.
but marginally.
And look, they can change up the moves a little bit too, but might as well. Again, the more
Do
characters.
we have
the
a
better.
release date for that game or what?
No, I don't think
It's
so.
probably like this fall.
I think they're aiming for this fall, but I don't think.
Mario
they
Kart has a release date though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it
It's like
does.
come soon.
You excited for that?
Yeah.
For you to
Think
play
so.
on your Wii U that you got there? How much have you played on your Wii U? Like,
Here and there. I got all the Mario games and everything. So.
man, do you think your feet smell will come through the microphone?
Get out of there.
Like,
It's pretty bad, eh?
Jeez.
Well, just still though. Yeah, well, like you missed it last week, but we talked about Little Mac on Super Smash Brothers. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's cool.
That's it. That's all I got to say about that.
What else is there to say about
Well,
that?
anything
That's
more than
good.
it's cool.
It's a good character.
All right.
I
it's-
also think it's cool.
I will.
What more
I
is
will
there to say
third
about
that
that?
cool.
Finally, we get a new character, like a good one that they've announced. Like,
Yeah.
It's better than the Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, like that's not like.
Why is that what bothered you so
Yeah,
much?
nobody got excited when they announced the Wii Fit Trainer. That's just
No, it's not. It's not cool. It's just kind of like it's just funny. Like I like it.
It's kind of like Mr. Game & Watch, you know.
But
It's
like
throw it in
we're
there.
waiting for like the big name Nintendo characters to pop up. And
Who are we
Little Mac-
missing?
No, I mean like ones that we've never seen before. Little Mac is kind of in there. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that's true. And that's like kind of like Kid Icarus was with
Yeah.
Brawl.
Yeah, and like someone like in the Metroid where like Ridley, if he was ever playable. Like,
Well,
that'd be
people are
cool.
saying that like they that Iwata or whatever, not Iwata. That means the guy, the director of the game.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name now. Starts with an S. That he made left perhaps like a little hint when he's saying that like not all things in the Super Smash Brothers world have to be like to scale.
Yeah.
Saying that when people keep asking about Ridley being a character and how like, she's like, 3 or 4 or 5 times the size of Samus,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't really fit with the.
Well, that was rumored last game too. Cause
Yeah.
There was like a boss fight with him or something like that.
Yeah. So if Ridley does become a character, they're saying that obviously they would think you could shrink her down to
Yeah.
like the size to probably like Bowser size, right? Who's probably the biggest character in the game?
King DDD.
Yeah. Is King?
And
Yeah, he's still
Donkey
there.
Kong's pretty big too, actually.
Either way, so Ridley would be like a large class character like this.
Yeah,
Just like a
you would
power
think so,
character.
and that maybe could fly.
I just hope Snake is back. Sonic's already back, right?
Yeah, Sonic's in.
And Mega Man's the new one, which you know.
Oh, actually, no, we don't know for sure. Sonic, I don't remember now. That's a good question. I should.
I don't know if that's going.
I think he's back.
There's no way they're not going to have him back.
Well, you'd want him back. I think if you have Mario, Sonic, and Mega Man, that's a sweet like.
and then
3
toss
of
in
them.
Knuckles there too.
I honestly, if they maybe that they're waiting for that reveal so they can do Knuckles and Tails because those are two.
Yeah, I'd want both of them actually. I could even choose one of them.
You couldn't pick. We talked about actually last week that there's a new Sonic cartoon coming out.
Yeah, what's it called, Rush or something?
Yeah, Sonic Rush.
No, it's
Or
not Rush.
Sonic Boom.
Boom,
Sonic
yeah.
Boom.
Rush is the 3DS or DS game.
Sick games, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Very classic Sonic.
But better with the 2 screens.
Yeah.
You can see.
You go all the way down.
You can see everything.
Would it take into account like the space in between the
Yeah, I
screens?
think it would.
There's some games that wouldn't. They would just go instantly right over the next screen. There's some that would like pretend that there's like screen between the hinge.
A tunnel.
No, I would no.
Yeah, you tunnel in between, obviously.
No, okay.
Because there's no screen there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say tunneling though.
Okay, we can move on from this.
Yeah, well, I'm just double checking to see if Sonic. Oh, okay, yeah, he is. Super Smash Bros. 4 characters.
I want to play those Sonic games for the GameCube. Those are sick, eh? Chaos Emeralds and shit.
No, I don't know.
Every Sonic game is Chaos Emeralds.
What are they called though? There's
like the ones like with the black Sonic. What's that one
that
called?
was
Those weren't that good.
What's that one called?
The ones before that were really good.
What's that one? What's the name of that guy?
Shadow.
Shadow should be in the game.
He was a assist trophy.
Yeah.
It'll be Tails before any of the others.
I think it should be Tails just because it's classic and
and it's
and
different.
he's different
Different
enough.
moves.
Yeah, he's
Tails
unique
can be a
enough.
propeller for his jumping.
Because like Knuckles is going to be very much like Sonic.
I remember
I
back.
think you could do Sonic a lot differently.
Remember back in the day,
Sonic and Knuckles differently.
In that GamePro magazine with the April Fool's joke, they had Sonic
Yeah.
and Tails like superimposed.
Man. And then it was like it said to do it you have to beat like 100 of the wireframes at like a certain amount of time.
tried so hard.
And the two squares like fit perfectly in
Yeah.
the character selection.
It's like they wanted another 2 characters and they just couldn't think of what they wanted to be.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said that a lot today, but you could do Knuckles and Sonic differently, I think.
No, but Tails is still more unique.
Yes.
Knuckles has knuckles and punches and like
And it's the Echidna, or whatever they're called.
Echidna, but
think about like a later.
Kill Marillo!
Those two characters make me think about like two characters being able to team up together and do super moves.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that in another iteration of Smash Bros. Later on?
Like
they would have to be like the
Yeah,
from the same
no.
game.
Combinations of characters could do.
Would you call it
moves.
Super Smash Brothers Double Dash?
Something like that. But that would be cool. Like Mario and Luigi would have a special thing going on. So like there'd be a mode where it'd be like 2 versus 2.
You didn't have 2 characters from every franchise.
Yeah, so 2 versus 2, right? So Mario and Luigi, Sonic and Tails.
And then you would probably want 2 bad guys from each franchise, though.
Peach
and Daisy or Toad or something like that, right?
Peach and Toad probably.
And they'd have that
Toad's
cool
not a
super
character, but you could make him a character, I guess. Toad would be a tough one.
See, but then the thing,
like
if you're going to do
Yoda.
that in terms of gameplay, you'd want to be able to do that with Peach and Zelda or something like that would have.
Yeah, then they'd have cool ones like that too. But I think that's cool.
And then
idea.
there'd be like weird ones, like Bowser and Game & Watch would have like a surprise one that nobody thinks is there.
Interesting. Well, there used to be there used to be like moves you could do that like paired really well between characters.
Yeah, but
like there was like the side swipe like I can't remember what this was in. It was in I think one of the like the congratulations video at the end of Super Smash Brothers. Congratulations, and you went and it shows like one of the characters like doing all their moves or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was like I think it was on the DK stage and it would be like Link's side swipe. It would send people like at a like a right at like a 45-degree angle, and then it would be like perfectly positioned for Samus to use his like giant beam like on the second floor of
but you can do that with any character. Like that's just knowing your character and knowing their moves.
You know what's pretty cool? You know those photos at the end of Adventure Mode or whatever where they have like cute funny things? If you can make those your own photos and people vote in the community system and then when you beat the game.
That would mean that Nintendo would have to be like online in
well,
some
they
sort
have
of
the
fashion.
whole the Wii U universe thing like
Yeah.
Weaver, yeah. You can share your photos that you make and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can take screenshots or whatever?
Yeah, you can take screenshots. I'm pretty sure you can do.
You can like write little things and like people can see it.
That's kind of cool. So yeah, you could do some pretty cool stuff.
They have to do that kind of like they have to keep the connectivity up and like make sure it has a better online system because that was a huge flaw.
And as soon as you turn it on, you see that on the TV is the community.
Yeah. That's
and
cool.
you click on people, what they're doing, what they're saying.
They're me's.
Yeah, they're me's. They're walking around.
Do you have like all of us made?
Yeah, good on you, man.
I think that's the first thing everyone does when they start making me's. Is like,
well, I made them all on my 3DS, and
I'm gonna make all my friends.
I made Eli and Adam like a long time ago.
Yeah, you actually did do this.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, I did that on my Wii when I got.
And then I had to change their hairstyles recently
to match reality.
Because Adam has long hair now, right?
Oh my god, that's
Eli's
funny.
doing the shaved head like this again.
Yeah. Can't wait to get all those compliments from dudes. Oh man, I think I might buy a 3DS just for Smash Brothers.
Do you want the XL? Or do you want the regular version? Because I have 3DSs.
I don't want to buy your.
Why? It's a mint can dish.
Mint can. Well, I guess
there's an extra battery pack underneath it too. With 6 charging station.
What? Cool. Yeah,
Lights
give me that.
Green.
Give me that though.
No. I retract my offer.
Okay, so I think
give me that for my trips though.
Give me your laptop.
No.
That's a fair trade. Well, not really. Just buy an iPad.
Did you talk about the GBA games coming to 3DS?
Yes, we did.
Oh, man.
Sick games, right? Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Yeah, you guys have to play
Metroid Fusion, another great game.
Yeah, but you need to play Superstar Saga though.
I played it. No, I beat most of that game. I never beat it all the way, but I beat most of it. I know, hilarious. It's one of my favorite. It's like people have mixed reviews for it. Some people really like Mario RPG.
It's cool as coming 3DS or whatever. But I have the GBA attachment to my GameCube, so I can put it in and play it on my big screen.
Yeah, but most people don't still have their GameCube.
I know, it's still cool. I can do that though.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Yeah. So I really want them to come out with it.
That existed, did you, Daniel?
Nope.
Do you think that...
Attach the bottom of your GameCube. Put any game.
I did actually know that. Did you ask him if he didn't know?
Yeah, he didn't know that.
Were you stupid?
What?
Fuck, man. Like those games are some of my favorite. Like GBA is chock full of some great games.
The GBA is like the SNES.
Yeah. But and what the hell were they waiting for as far as putting that shit on virtual?
Well, it was
console?
on a long time ago for the people who paid like $300 for the 3DS.
Oh, and then they got...
What's it called? Here it's called. Like honorary fucking thing.
Yeah, but for the people who got fucked.
So yeah, they had like 5 GB games, Metroid Fusion, Mario Kart, and all those cool things. And I can't even buy those because I wasn't the ones who bought that originally. So now they're starting to roll them out. Get
Fusion.
No, I love Fusion. It's one of my favorites. I played it a bunch.
I think they really need to do another 2D Metroid game. I can't remember who was talking about it, but they were saying how Nintendo's doing like cross genre, like doing more. What's the word I'm looking for here? But like selling their characters out for different. It's not the word. Not
prostituting. Wait,
not
prostituting. Fusion is like the last one in the storyline, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they haven't revisited it.
They haven't done anything after.
And in Metroid Prime 2, there's a cheat code or something like that. You can unlock that suit.
Fusion suit.
And play within that suit.
You can also have one of the colors in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, maybe those fusion colors.
The fusion colors.
Very cool game.
It was just a lot. It just reminded me a lot of Super Metroid.
Who was inside the original Samus suit?
Who?
Yeah, or what was
before Samus was in it?
No. In Fusion, it's like an evil.
There's like it's like a parasite.
Yeah, parasite's in there.
Yeah, and then there's like the evil version of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like our generation of Super Metroid, basically. Was that I would say?
Yeah, and then they did Zero Missions, which is a remake of the NES game.
That would probably be available soon too.
Yeah, I hope so, because that's another.
Like, I've been trying to find that one. I want that one.
I think I have it actually downstairs somewhere. Nice. I think they should do another 2D. Anyways, I was saying they're licensing. That's the word I was looking for. Licensing their characters. You know how like people always talk about like Metroidvania style games, being like go to somewhere and come back and need a new like
side scrolling kind of thing.
What if you had a crossover with Metroid and Castlevania and they just called it Metroidvania?
That would probably happen in the future.
Yeah, well,
but no, because they're so different time frames.
Well, no, but like the new Castlevania stuff is in modern day, which is weird. But like, I watched like the story of Castlevania, like Shadow of the Night or whatever, in 5 minutes or less on IGN, and the story is really confusing and complicated and weird.
That'd be so weird if they made a game called Metroidvania.
No, but just so meta though, you know. It's like because everyone calls those games Metroidvania style games, and people make them all the time.
Do you remember what the rumor with Star Fox and Metroid being crossed over?
Yeah, there was that rumor was for the like there was gonna be a Wii game with the crossover. Happened. No, and it makes sense because they're those more than anything cross. Yeah. Although Fox is so much more like cartoony.
Yeah, and Metroid's been maybe not lately, but it's more adult and dark.
Yeah, it's more like Alien.
Yeah,
and Star Fox is more like Star Wars, I guess. I don't know.
And then they're shying away from Metro. Well, they did make that one for the Wii, Other M,
which was
gearing towards more of an adult audience and it didn't do well.
Yeah. Well, apparently the writing was really bad. I haven't played it. I saw it in a discount bin for $5. That's when
I bought it for $5 HMV when they were closing out their games. And by the way, I just bought Dead Space 3 for $5.99 at Target.
Does Target have those kind of sales regularly?
They're just getting rid of the games right now. And Devil May Cry, the reboot one.
Yeah.
It was $9.99, so I bought that too.
Do you even like those games?
Yeah, I like those games.
Okay.
Huh. Just saying, there's a lot of like crazy sales on right now.
I actually just went back and finished some games that I had beat like over the last week that I had off. I beat Tomb Raider, so the remake one, or I guess the reboot. I realized when I came back to finish it that I was like 10 minutes away from finishing the game before I stopped playing. Still a great game though. I kind of was considering buying like the Ultimate Edition or whatever it's called for like the PS3 or PS4. But I don't know if I'm gonna do it. It's like I like it, but I don't know enough to buy it again. Like another $60, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
And I'm now trying to finish Grand Theft Auto, and I'm almost done Grand Theft Auto 5. Still, like again, I deserve the 10s. It had this exact same thing happen to me. That happened to me every single time I play any any Rockstar game really. Happened to me with Red Dead. Happened to me with Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, or I stop 3/4 of the way through the story, and you get bored and you just end. And you come back. Maybe you come back to it later. I'm glad I did with Red Dead because that's one of the best games I've ever played. If you've never played Red Dead, I hope they do like a Ultimate Edition for the PS4 for that, because that game is on like this on a story level, gameplay level, everything. It's like unbelievable. But we've talked about Red Dead before. What do we got here? Oh, Anchorman 2 is coming back to theaters, but with as rated R this time and with new jokes.
New jokes.
Did they make a lot of money or what?
I don't know. I don't remember what it did. I think it premiered in first, but I don't know.
I missed out on the theater.
As did I. I would like
really?
to. Yeah, I would like to have gone back and seen it. It might be in the cheap seats somewhere.
That's weird because like we always say we want a sequel, we're happy about it, and we didn't go see it.
I think it was at one of those times that there was a lot of stuff going
I don't
on.
know.
There was a lot of stuff going on. I think we were just busy. I mean, I 3 or 4 times I was like, I want to go see it. No one couldn't. It wasn't working. Okay, so Arrow has officially revealed the Suicide Squad for some of their episodes coming up. With so it's got Michael Jai White, Sean Mathieu.
Awesome! Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Michael Jai White's been in the show for a while, man.
Yeah, but as what though?
As Bronze Tiger.
Sweet.
Bronze Tiger, yeah. Amanda Waller, obviously. Deadshot, and there's someone else in here as well. Oh, and Diggle. He's the character they invented for the show.
He's in the Suicide Squad?
Yeah. At least that's what that's looks like it.
But he's like a good guy though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and he hates Deadshot because he killed his brother. Spoilers. Diggle is one of the only few characters in the DC that went from like a show into the comics. So like Harley Quinn came from the show and went into the comics. Mm-hmm. The same thing happened with Diggle. It was recently just introduced into the Green Arrow comic books. Have you been reading Green Arrow at all, Jeremy?
No.
You were for a while there, right?
Yeah, I was. I read up to like issue 20. They're all on issue like 27, I believe now.
Yeah. So
I've missed out on a lot. Haven't been reading at all.
I've just pretty much been keeping up with Forever Evil, which has been pretty interesting.
Yeah. That's only issue like 5 too, I think.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say it again. Watch Arrow.
You just said it.
Oh, so the rumor is that Sony's going to reveal a virtual reality headset at Gamescom, which is coming up soon.
Awesome.
By the way,
this is the future, guys.
The time when we get to Gamescom will be just about our 1-year anniversary. Just after our 1-year anniversary, because for the show.
We're gonna send a correspondent down.
Can I go? Who's paying for it?
You are.
Man, I wish.
Wait, where is it?
It's in.
I'm not gonna go. Why do I even ask that question?
What if it was in like somewhere cool, like Miami or something?
If it was in anywhere between Thunder Bay and North Battle.
The hotbeds of the gaming industry. But either way, like you remember talking about the what's that other headset that's been everyone's talking
Oculus
about?
Rift.
Oculus Rift. So, anyways, Oculus Rift's having like manufacturing issues or whatever, but it's still in like development stages.
And everybody uses it, says it's like the future.
Yeah. So but they're working
including
on
Cliffy B.
Cliffy B, classic.
He's backing that thing so much. That's like all he's about.
Yeah. Everyone who says they've tried it says it's the coolest thing they've ever done. And I really would love to try virtual reality. If like the PS4 can do it with like a headset that's like $150,
and I heard I listened to a podcast with, I guess he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, Cliffy B. Do you know what that is?
I stopped listening.
Cliffy B's
and his wife was on there or something, and they were talking about how the Oculus Rift works, and like it's hard to understand what it would be like, but she said that she got scared from an enemy coming at her, so she tried looking away. But when she looked away, she just looked behind her in the dungeon, so she was still trapped in the world or whatever. So I think that little kind of phrase
cool.
explains how it is and what it feels like. So.
Well, the thing with like people think of virtual reality headset, it's just like putting a screen right in front of your eyes, but it's different than
right
that.
in front of you. It puts you inside.
It's 2 different screens in each eye, giving you perspective like you're seeing like 3D image.
It gives you depth.
Yeah, which is huge, and that makes it feel like you're actually there.
And then every time you turn, it calibrates it to where you're in that one spot, and everywhere you look is like you're actually there.
Like you're turning your head. Yeah. But people are saying that one of the issues with that is that you get virtual reality sickness.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of like motion sickness.
Shit always happens.
And then you play more and you get used to it. Like
I guess
you
kind of
build up an immunity, like not an immunity. Your body
get
adapts
used
to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like people get used to seasickness.
And they'll have to do studies and shit and be like, "Okay, you can only play for this amount of time."
Yeah,
recommended
I mean, it's probably not good for your eyes.
No.
I mean, unless you have a very high resolution screen. But either way, I'm excited for it. If that's true,
what's exciting about it is it's still like the baby stages, right? Like there's going to be more that comes after this. That's going to be better versions. They're going to adapt and they're going to expand on it.
Like,
so I'm more excited for like 10, 15 years from now.
I'm excited for when like this is gonna sound weird, but like when I'm like old and I can't like if I couldn't play with a controller, like my reflexes would be too slow, or my hands just wouldn't from years of gaming, my hands would be like in balls and I wouldn't be able to actually do it. So for the point where the games are not, it's like you just think about it,
it's just
or it just allowing you to like extend your life in a more meaningful way when you're in your older age. Maybe in a virtual sense, but not like actually extending your life. But you know what I mean? Allowing you to do things in your like your elderly stage of your life that people now can't do. That's what I'm kind of excited about. Because in how long is that? That's like what, like 60 years from now? That 70 years from now?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that's how far will technology have gone? Like, think about the Super Nintendo when we were kids to now. That's only been 20 years. That's a pretty big leap. We're going to
technology advances exponentially. It's not linear.
What do they talk about the point where I don't think that's what the game singularity.
No, I don't know. What are you talking about?
No, like when computers can start creating more powerful computers on their own without having
that's like basically singularity.
Singularity. I don't know as much about this theory. Like,
it's so hard to explain to people.
But it's kind of like
it's that.
It's the point.
It's Tyson crap.
No.
No, it's not even him. It's another guy.
I don't think he really subscribes to this.
No, he does. He believes in the theory.
Does he?
He's having a show right away coming out for.
He's been filming it for like a year and a half.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. It's pretty cool.
Sick.
Computers advancing to the point where they can create smarter and faster computers and all that.
Yeah.
Also, advancing to the point that we could download our consciousness into a computer,
and be
which is not unfathomable
at all times,
right?
Because I guess our brain works on electrical pulses, right?
Well, so. If you can build a computer model of a reality that's more real than or as
how
real
can
as
be
reality,
more
real than real?
Advanced
well, exactly. No, if you can build that, and then if like it's kind of like
you couldn't distinguish
if you were dreaming or not.
You couldn't distinguish between reality.
Yeah,
and
but when you're in
reality.
it though, and you basically live how you want to live. You can create whatever you want.
And okay, the coolest thing about that theory is though, if that theory exists, there's no way to prove that we aren't already in it.
Yeah. And they're saying that when you are in it,
so it's like the Matrix again.
When you are in it, you cannot fathom how we lived beforehand.
It's kind of like we can't fathom how fucking cavemen lived.
Well, we can because we have the basic needs of survival.
But you couldn't be placed.
No, I'm
in
just saying
that situation.
it's so advanced and so crazy that we wouldn't be able to comprehend how we lived beforehand. It wouldn't make sense to us. We wouldn't even understand it. Just like we can't understand how we even get there in the first place.
Yeah, that's
I mean, like what it comes down,
it's got an interesting theory. It's kind of pretty
far.
far. It just seems so like abstract. It's like I don't know.
Well, it gets to the point that it's just analogous with whatever our existence is. You know, like you can't imagine whatever the creator is or whatever. You know, like it's the same thing.
So maybe the creator is just like
it could be a programmer and we're a simulation and we might be able to. You can't look out the screen. Right? It's the same thing.
Yeah, I get it.
It gets down to the point where it doesn't matter, but it's still cool to think about.
Are they still talking in group
chat?
Yeah. Jesus Christ!
About nothing.
No, they're about like ultimate frisbee and shit.
Oh god, that's worse than nothing. So Will Smith's supposed to star in a new sci-fi thriller. I don't know. Let's see. Go further in here. When's the last thing Will Smith did that?
After Earth,
sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that movie?
No.
I watched it. It was really bad. but I still enjoyed it though.
Based on Marcus Saki's novel of the same name, Legendary. I don't know, have you ever heard of that?
I Am Legend 2.
And Universal Brilliance, a sci-fi thriller based on... Okay, yeah. Anyway.
Anytime he makes like a big budget action movie, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, I really like... Do you like iRobot? I like iRobot.
Yeah, iRobot's one of the best.
Okay. Because a lot of people are like, it's just cheesy and fake, and I really like iRobot.
I don't know.
I like that they talk about like the three laws
the stuff that I like
robotics.
about it isn't so much the action. I like
it's
the laws of robotics.
It's the intrigue and the mystery behind everything in the story. It's awesome.
It's a good mystery movie, I think.
That actor's really good. Who plays the scientist?
no, I know
the scientist guy.
So there's gonna be a Lego. There's gonna be a Lego Movie 2. I should talk about this earlier.
Yeah, would have made a long.
They've already set a release date for it, but like because I didn't get a chance to
kids
do a lot of
love Lego. This is a no-brainer.
Everyone loves Lego.
Mostly kids, and you are a kid, so.
Everyone's a kid inside.
Mm-hmm.
So did we talk? We didn't talk about this last week, but the guys behind Bioshock closed their doors.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of
It's different. They're just downsizing.
Well,
they're going in a different direction.
Downsizing to focus on smaller games because if you think about it,
rational
Bioshock,
games.
Yeah, Bioshock Infinite took like how many years to make? Like 4
5
probably
years.
or 5
years. Yeah.
So they're probably okay. Like it was successful.
GTA 5 took 5 years to make, and that game is immensely larger than.
But the thing is, the best thing they're good at storytelling, so they're going to downsize and focus on small story.
Well, they're talking about like
games.
Yeah, but like they're talking about for like handhelds and mobile platforms. Yeah, so they've pretty much fired most of the staff, keeping a small.
No one could have predicted this. That's why it's a great story.
Yeah, well, I mean because Ken Levine is like highly regarded as one of the best video game creators out there.
But they had a meeting and they just decided to refocus everything.
I feel like it was more than just one meeting.
Well, not one meeting, but
yeah, I mean, it's like you talk about people losing their jobs.
They're one of the most different gaming companies than anyone else. Like they just.
Oh yeah, Bioshock is completely different than anything.
So much pride in what they do, and then they just realize that the way they're gonna move forward is by focusing on their story.
Do you think they look at like the video game industry and think like that it's going in a direction they don't want to go in, and then they want to just I don't know. Choose their own fate. Like they see budgets inflating more and more. You see 3 different studios making Call of Duty games, so there's one every single year.
And then and then that they just took 5 years to make that game, which is way too long.
Well, and you think about can you imagine spending 5 years on one project, just doing one thing? You know, like that. I've never done anything like that.
I remember when was it Skyrim when those guys won at the VGAs or whatever. Like the guy almost cried when he announced for his acceptance speech because like he was talking about his family and how they missed him and stuff, and he said, "Yeah, I was away for 5 years, but it was worth it because we won Game of the Year and all that stuff." But it takes a long time to make.
And like you're not making a lot of money as a game developer. No. I mean, some of them do. I'm sure Ken Levine's doing fine, but.
And they probably just have so many ideas that like, okay, this is the only way we can get.
Yeah, like you like keep on adding things. It's like what happened with The Last Guardian. It's like they probably just kept running. Well, we got to do this. We got to do this.
And they don't want to get stuck in the mold of just doing Bioshock games, probably too. They're just like, okay, well.
Well, I mean, Bioshock's going to continue. 2K owns the rights to it, so.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying Irrational Games doesn't have to make them anymore now, probably.
No, but I mean, the last Bioshock game that wasn't made by Irrational is Bioshock 2, and that's considered the worst of the series.
Yeah.
I've never played the first Bioshock, which is, again, supposed to be one of the best of games of all time.
I've only played a couple hours, but it's really good so far.
It's on the Bioshock Infinite disc. I should really just fucking go back. I should add that to my list of things. Yeah. It's included on the... Bioshock Infinite, by the way, free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, what a crazy service.
I know. Did you get
a lot of other games like Metro.
Yeah.
I'm going to download that on Cassie's PS3.
You beat it, though, right?
Yeah, but...
Just because, right?
Yeah,
because you can, because PlayStation Plus is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about PlayStation, the streaming service, PlayStation Now.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
I don't know
how it's working.
Michael Pachter, everyone knows who Michael Pachter is, right? That analyst. Daniel doesn't.
Why would you say that?
Most people who follow the games industry know knows who Michael Pachter is.
If you go to GameTrailers.com, you'll know.
Anyway, a lot of people don't agree with him. Some people do. He says that it has no chance of working. He says that there's no way.
I always agree with him.
Pretty much.
What he said after the Wii, he said they're going to release a Wii HD.
Yeah.
They basically did.
Yeah.
The Wii U is a Wii HD.
It's true, I guess, but like that's kind of I mean, that's such a like broad suggestion.
No, but
they're
he's
going to
like-
release a Wii HD.
No,
like,
he
great.
said that
they're going to
after-
release the next console that
No, he said
Nintendo's
after
going
2
to HD.
years, he's like, they can't compete with all these HD consoles. They're going to release a Wii HD. And before the PS4 and Xbox One came out, they released the Wii U, which was a Wii that was HD.
That's true.
It wasn't exactly what he thought the package was going to be, but to consumers it was.
Yeah, and people don't know. People think
Yeah,
the Wii
so he
U
was
is just another
I
fucking
think he
Wii.
was right on that, for sure.
I know he's for sure made like right predictions. He's also been like pretty like negative isn't the right word, but
Well, he's not really a gamer. Like, he pretends he is, I think.
I don't think he plays any games.
I think, he does. He says he does. He just doesn't go really in depth with them and finish them. But he does play them because that's just...
Because he needs. I think you need to if you're an analyst.
Well, not only that, but he has, like, game trailer stuff. He gets filmed and he answers questions about games and stuff, so he wants to at least know what he's talking about.
Yeah. I can't say his name. Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, his first name always screws me up. He's going to be in the next Mortal Kombat game.
Scorpion.
Well, we don't know that. No. It doesn't say.
As Raiden, probably.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Did you watch the last season of Mortal Kombat Unchained or whatever it was called?
No, it wasn't called Unchained. Unchained was like the PSP game.
His Legacy?
Legacy, yeah, the second season of
Yeah,
it. I watched a
the
couple
second
episodes of it and
It's good.
I fell asleep. But
What?
it was because I was watching it at 2:30 at night. That's
I was
why.
watching so
How-
late.
I rarely ever fall asleep watching something. I can't understand that.
I've been and finished an episode which was only like 5 minutes long and then fell asleep.
Okay,
Did
so
you watch the
different.
latest DC animated movie?
No.
What
I
are
haven't
you
seen it.
waiting for?
It just sucks because Julian always downloads it like 2 months in advance, then talks about it, and then we just forget to talk about it when it actually does come out.
Okay, well, you want to talk about it?
No,
Because you've
it's
seen
fine.
it now?
We can wait till he sees it.
It's okay. I know the story. They're not going to ruin it.
Well, it's the story's just the.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just better to talk about it when we've all seen the actual movie. It's like when we saw Flashpoint.
Ugh.
So next time you're gonna wait
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not download it.
Yes.
months in advance.
Try to watch it on the Wii.
Also, I don't. Yeah, yeah. All right. What's up? What do we got next here? Somebody's saying that the scarcity for PlayStation 4 is going to continue, which means they're probably selling out pretty much everywhere they
Fine
go.
by me.
Why? Because you're not buying one anytime soon?
No, there's no game I want to play right
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been thinking. I've been playing Battlefield 4 on the thing. Like that's it.
now. I guess what Thief is coming out tomorrow or something.
Thief,
like
I think just came out,
That's
but
probably gonna be good.
it's
but
been people have been giving mixed reviews.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a good franchise. Like the history of it, like
Mhm.
the games in the past are good. All we need is Watch Dogs and then like a good first party game, like Uncharted.
Yeah.
Then I'm down.
Your DTG
Yeah.
down to game.
And then same with the Wii U. I already have one, but when Smash Bros comes out in America, then it's all good.
Yeah. Arkham Origins Blackgate, so the handheld one's coming to consoles. So if you guys want to play that, that's a Metroidvania style game.
Is that the Vita game or the 3DS game?
The 3DS game and the Vita game are pretty much the same.
So it's probably the Vita game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did we talk about the whole Fantastic Four cast? Did we talk about that last week?
What?
The Fantastic Four, they were all cast. Every member of the.
We talked about the movie. I don't think we talked.
We talked about-
casting.
Yeah, the
no.
casting is fucking brutal.
Yeah, man. We talked about how I could not care less about this fucking movie
Yeah.
and how they were gonna do.
The only
Cast
cat-
like a bunch of really young kids, right? Like,
No,
Yeah.
okay, Kate Mara. Wait, who's?
yeah.
Is she?
I like
is
this
she?
Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, and
Okay,
Jamie
Kate Mara is
Foxx.
Yeah.
unbelievable. She's great. And,
She is just great. She
Michael
can do
B.
no
Jordan
wrong.
is actually pretty badass dude too. He was in the Wire as well.
Yeah,
And
He's-
Chronicle, right?
Yeah. He'd be a cool Torch. I think he's got a good.
Yeah.
and he's black. How are
But-
Sue and him related?
Whatever. Okay, but the casting of the Thing and what's his name, Reed, is brutal.
Well, okay, so we got his read. It's
That guy's a fucking dweeb.
well,
he's supposed to be.
Yeah, come on, man.
No,
Miles
no.
Teller is Reed Richards.
And these actors are young as fuck.
Yeah, so they're
They're
gonna
like-
want to do a long
They're
franchise with these
they
people.
could pass for like 14.
The only way I want to see the Fantastic Four, and I said this before, is I only want
Kate
Fantastic
Mara
Four
as
as everything. No, I want I only want to see them in the Marvel universe with the rest of everything they're doing with Disney. That's the only
I don't
way.
know, I'm interested to see what they can do with it, but right now the casting for like it's just not good. Like
They just seem like they're doing it on the cheap. Hey,
it's half
just-
good. It's
There's
half
there's two good members of the four.
The Thing, I don't
and
think
they haven't even
who's it, the Jamie Bell or something.
Just not the Thing is Jamie Bell.
That's fucking ridiculous.
But like he's gonna be
How
doing
is that guy the Thing?
but he's gonna be doing like what's it called motion capture anyway, so it's not really, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, so we don't even know if the thing will have makeup on and
No, it'll probably be just all CG, which makes more sense.
Oh, you know, he did
Who, Jamie Bell?
Jamie Bell did Tintin. He did the
he has CG experience. CGI experience, yeah, exactly. Which I think it makes sense. Like they're all scientists, whatever. He just turns out to be. It's like picture of Kate Mara.
Look at Reed though. That guy's the worst
It's
actor.
gonna be weird.
That guy his first movie was like Project X or something. House Party movie.
Yeah, no, well, funny though.
And now he's in a movie with Zac Efron and the Human Torch guy too.
That awkward
Zac
moment.
Yeah, the awkward
Efron.
moment.
Fuck, I'm mad that that's even the name of a movie.
Yeah, that's like calling a movie hashtag or something.
Yeah. So there might be doing another Tony Hawk game.
They released
those games are sick.
They had a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD on the PSN or whatever. I forgot to buy it.
Really? It was like the original game.
The original game with levels from the second and third game in DLC packs.
I played a shit out of those games.
Yeah, man. You need to download that game.
Yeah,
the HD remake is really good.
So is it
all the music
developer?
is back. All the levels are back that you remember.
Yeah, it was all like music for the time too.
Yeah.
Activision has confirmed its involvement with the new Tony Hawk project. There you go. So.
Because they tried going in a crazy direction with their stupid surfboards and stuff. It did not work.
It was like that. It was that Wii one, right? Whatever with the
they had to because Skate was coming in. It was just so much better than them, like in terms of gameplay.
Yeah.
So.
My brother still plays Skate 2 and Skate 3. So.
Man, I was obsessed with those games too. Like it's so intuitive. It's just so cool. Mistakes.
I don't know. Skateboarding since the Tony Hawk games I had, and even started losing interest in it later on in the series.
They got real goofy.
I don't know. It's just something about just the button combinations and the timing.
Too easy.
No, I'm just saying the skate games. The button combinations, the timing, and the stick movements, and then landing something and then doing it again. Like it's pretty empowering. Like,
it's more rewarding.
Yeah.
So right before we were going to record, or right after we recorded last week, we'd seen the teaser for the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, but the full Guardians of the Galaxy trailer came out that night. And you haven't seen it?
No, I have not.
Idiot.
What are you waiting for?
It's actually really good.
I'm gonna watch it now.
Well.
You guys are gonna love this movie.
Yeah, I'll just
your guys' humor.
Here, what we'll do is we're gonna pause. We're gonna pause. You're gonna watch the trailer, and then we're gonna come back and talk about it.
All right. It was cool.
That's it.
That's all you have to say. Just it's cool. No,
it looks cool. It's got the humor that it needed to have.
And the thing is that none of us really read any of the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
No.
We didn't even knew what it was.
Stuff, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's got Iron Man in it in the new comic book stuff, which is kind of whatever. But like,
which eases you into it.
Yeah, Chris Pratt again.
Perfect casting.
Great. He's great in the Lego Movie. Parks and Rec is hilarious. He's on a roll right now.
They didn't go with huge name actors for this. Except for Bradley Cooper's kind of a huge name.
Yeah, but he's just doing the voice. His face. Yeah, and we didn't hear Rocket Raccoon's voice. No. But we did see him on the shoulder of Groot with a giant machine gun.
It's a loud Bradley Cooper when he's screaming and stuff. Like, that's what it is.
You think?
Yeah.
Kind of like
there's one behind the scenes where he's just yelling and stuff.
The angry Bradley Cooper from Hangover, where he's just yelling at people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is he like a preschool teacher in the Hangover?
Not preschool. He's
like
just
an elementary school teacher.
Yeah, something like that.
It's so weird. There's like, yeah, they just like no talking to me outside of the class. But yeah, the tone of the Guardians of the Galaxy thing is perfect, because I think if you're gonna try to introduce this like ridiculous world, and like Benicio del Toro is in it, and he's got the crazy eyebrows and
Guillermo.
They haven't shown any of the villains yet, like Drax the Destroyer or whatever isn't shown in the trailer.
What are you talking about?
I think he is.
Isn't he a good guy though?
No. Yeah, Drax is a good guy. Yeah. It's and the Executioner or the anyway. Crap, I thought he's got
Benicio del Toro's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's the collector, but there's also another bad guy. Like he's got another thing called like they have like the something. Yeah. He's just like another one of those. It's like the lawyer or something. No, it's not that, but it's like similar to that.
I know there's a bunch of them like that.
But anyway, it looks funny. I like that's the way they're gonna do it. I like that they have the 80s music. That Hooked on a Feeling is great. Like that trailer's probably one of the best like Marvel trailers that I've seen, as far as other than Captain America 3, which is Can't wait to see that. 2. 3's coming eventually. They already announced that it's going to be made, but yeah.
What were you guys talking about?
Stop that.
I just heard about the Rock and Green Lantern shit.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed off about it.
You are?
Yeah.
Why?
No, I think...
okay, start from the beginning. Tell us, what were you saying? So in the comics, what happened, Jeremy?
Okay, so in the comics, what happened?
You just asked me that.
That's literally the exact question I asked.
I'm quizzing you. I want you to know.
So what you're asking
I want
me?
you, do you know what happened in the comics?
In what? What do you? There's a lot of stuff that happens in the comics.
In the 80s, the writing for Green Lantern sucked. It wasn't selling.
Okay.
So what they did was they invented the whole parallax thing, killed Hal Jordan off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back with Jon Stewart.
Okay.
Right? Which, in that time period leading into the cartoon, that was the Green Lantern. Other than Kyle Rayner, who was kind of small, but whatever. But we already knew Jon Stewart. So he was in the cartoon. All of you guys know, like me, like he's Green Lantern.
Everyone grew up with Jon Stewart.
Exactly. So then a movie comes out. They're all about rebooting characters. Hal Jordan's original Green Lantern. The movie blows, and now to reinvent the character in the movie world, they have to get rid of him and bring Jon Stewart back again.
I don't know if they have to get rid of him.
Your exact words. That is insane.
That's
His
insane.
exact words were. That is insane.
It's history repeating itself.
Yeah,
Comic
well,
world, now movie
I don't know.
world.
Maybe there's a reason. I don't think they have to get rid of Hal Jordan as a character.
The only reason why Jon Stewart would be in the movie is because that movie bombed.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Well,
the character bombed in the comics.
So you have to put Jon Stewart in because you're not going to do Rayner. You're
he's
the
savior of that character, and it's happening in the movie world now.
Okay, then let it happen. Let them all be saved.
I'll have to let it happen, but I'm saying I want the original Justice League. I don't.
Sure.
If you're okay with that, then what if I told you Dick Grayson was Batman in this? That would suck.
I don't know if that's the exact same.
But it's not the same thing at all.
I think it is.
No, because
that's like having
it's well
Wally
known that
West.
There's so many more.
Wally West is the Flash.
That's fine with me. That's the
the
Flash that I had in the comic.
I want the Silver Age characters in this movie.
Yeah, but I grew up with that cartoon and I enjoyed that. That's the Justice League.
No. I agree. That would be ideal. But with what we have right now, they're not going to let Hal Jordan be Green Lantern.
Well,
Ryan Reynolds is not going to be in the Justice League movie just because. He's not just going to walk up and do it. It just
sucks that because that movie bombed, they have to.
That you have to.
History is
so
repeating itself.
Either
again.
you reboot it with one of the different Green Lanterns and don't say that Hal Jordan's dead. Just say
we don't know what's happening. We're just assuming this is happening. But
or you find someone else to play him.
Okay, this is all based on the assumption that The Rock is going to play.
The Rock was
Is
going to play.
But we don't have no idea. They can just have Hal Jordan show up, and they don't have to refer to that movie. But what we saw in the comics was they just changed characters, right? Wow, and now we're getting a hint that they're just going to do it again.
Okay, so what would be best probably is if he even is like a cameo or something. I think he would be more than a cameo, but they have to mention Hal Jordan, mention that he's still alive, mention that there's more than one Green Lantern.
I would be fine with that.
Keep it a larger universe because then eventually there could be
a separate
Green Lantern movie
and have a Green Lantern movie.
Because like we were talking, you can't have the War of the Lanterns or anything like without Hal Jordan.
No, yeah,
you can't do Sinestro as an enemy without Hal Jordan.
You can't do Sinestro Core War without has to. Everything has to start.
So what we were saying is, if Green Lantern, if The Rock is going to be Green Lantern, it's going to have to be in a Justice League movie. But if they're going to do a Green Lantern movie. Hal Jordan still has to be the lead. Like, who's Jon Stewart's enemy if they do a Green Lantern movie with him as the lead?
They have what's her name from the what's her name? She's one of the Stark Sapphires. It's very similar to it's her name. It's just surprise, it's a black woman.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, and then it's almost word for word Hal and
it's similar. The only other thing I would say is the Red Lantern Corps.
Yeah, but you can't do the Red Lanterns until you do. You can't unless you do. How do you do the Red Lanterns first and then do Sinestro?
We don't know. It's just very tricky.
Although the show, the animated show,
they did the Red Lanterns
first.
It's just very tricky throwing Jon Stewart in there if you want to branch out in that franchise. You need
you just assume maybe Hal Stewart's dead, Hal Jordan's dead, and they just do the rebirth. This is the first new Green Lantern tied in.
So he's just dead?
He died somewhere between...
Somewhere
between Man of Steel
That's the one thing history's repeating stuff in the movie world, right? So that's kind of cool, because that comic book story where Hal Jordan, the parallax shit, Jeff Johns made sense of all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool how if they just start with Jon Stewart, then they can kind of talk about Hal Jordan, what happened to him, what he did for the universe.
Yeah.
Saved it, parallax gun effect, all that stuff. and then bring that into the movie when they do a Green Lantern movie on its own, and bring that back.
It's just that thing is though that's really hard because that's such a thick story to
it's a thick story because it should
have
never happened in the comics, but Jeff Johns retconned it and made it work.
Yeah.
Now we can actually do it in the movie world because
you retcon the shitty movie.
Yeah, because you're retconning the shitty movie. Where, you know what I mean? Like it's just crazy.
The shitty movie ended with him winning.
I know, but just
saving the day.
No, not just. Don't even pay attention to that movie. Just ignore it. Is what I'm saying.
You want to cut that movie out?
So just because you're gonna just jump in with Jon Stewart, then you can explain the whole story how Hal Jordan, the famous Green Lantern, went crazy, and then
the whole
you can
thing
bring
about
it back that way.
I think that's asking a lot.
That's asking a lot, but it just if we're already repeating history that way, what?
Because those movies exist, those comics existed. You could go back and read those ones. There's no.
So we're talking about the movies though.
Like the whole. Yeah, I know, but that if there's no movie to go back and look at Hal Jordan killing all the Green Lanterns, then how do you tell that story?
It's just a cool like. Brief history of what happened.
Yeah, but the whole thing about movies is you're not supposed to tell; you're supposed to show.
Not really.
It's a mixture of both.
Especially superhero movies.
It's weird, especially if you're not counting the other movie. If you just expect people, because it's going to be in a Justice League movie, or else it's going to be in his own movie.
Yeah.
That would take a lot of time away from that story to tell another story that's not the main focus.
That would have to be in its own Green Lantern movie.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The whole Parallax story was never it's never going to be, or was supposed to be in the movie world. I'm saying now that they're if they're throwing Hal Jordan away to bring him into the light now, to have a rebirth kind of story, they can actually do that storyline.
They could.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he has to be more established.
That's but like that's a pretty ballsy move. If the next Green Lantern movie you do is actually him killing a bunch of Green Lanterns.
But it's the thing. It's like the first Green Lantern movie. There was a lot of flashbacks when he was a kid and how his dad died or whatever, right? In Rebirth, he just comes back and like everyone's like talking about him. They're kind of weary, and there are flashbacks of what he did in the past. They could just do that too.
That's true.
Yeah,
and he's coming back to say sorry to everybody. To
I think that's tough, and I think DC's in a tricky spot.
It's not bad because you would have to, but you set it up as like an anthology.
And as he's redeeming himself, and the people are talking about him, we learn about his past at the same time and who he is and what he's there for.
That's fine. That actually sounds like a good idea.
That's what Rebirth did for comic book readers who never read his shit.
Well, I mean, it works. But it would have to be a Green Lantern specific vehicle. It wouldn't be in a Justice League movie.
Justice League.
No, it wouldn't be in the Justice League movie. No.
So would you? If
I'm
that
saying
was
Jon Stewart pops up in Justice League. Then they do a Green Lantern movie after, where Jon Stewart brings us into that world, into the core.
Yeah.
Then we learn about Hal Jordan's back. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, sure.
Yeah, so it's fine. So you're using a couple Green Lantern movies to build up the backstory, but they still have to have their own focus.
Yeah.
They still have to be standalone.
What are the story they telling exactly?
Like, that's tough because, like, even the Sinestro Corps wasn't established. It was just he put on a ring at the end of that movie. Like, nobody knows about the expanded Green Lantern universe, you know?
No.
There's, like, what makes... we've touched on this before. What makes Green Lanterns interesting is the whole dynamic with all the whole emotional spectrum, right?
Exactly.
And if you can't... How do you get that into the movies without it being, like...
Explain everything is... Yeah, but the thing is, we all think that they should just jumped into it. That's what I think. Because they didn't just jump into it. They just went like a slow story of him.
And they tried to ease into it with stupid comedy and like...
Yeah, like gaming in the ring and all this. Like, it's all bullshit. Like, now that there is a movie out there, there's some, general knowledge of the character, and you're having Superman and Batman.
The problem with that general knowledge is it's generally negative.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean knowledge of the character itself, not of the movie.
When you say
jump into it, have a Green Lantern Corps movie.
I don't know if Green Lantern's on that level though. You can jump into a Batman movie. You can jump into a Spider-Man movie.
Okay, I'm saying only on the basis that The Rock is Jon Stewart in the Justice League movie.
And then you'd have to have him also be the lead of
the Green Lantern Corps movie. You start with Jon Stewart. There's a conflict somehow, and the whole rumor or whatever is going on is Hal Jordan, the famous Green Lantern, is back. Kind of thing, right?
Okay.
And so
the only way it works is because The Rock is so popular, and he could
bring us all in there.
He could carry the franchise.
And then we get the Rebirth story if he shows up and everyone's mean about him, and then we learn about the past as they're talking to him, and then flashbacks or whatever, and we learn about him and who he is and what he did, his history with Sinestro maybe and all that stuff, and then it's his redemption story. He comes back. So with the core human members around him, kind of. But Jon Stewart is our launching point in there, if only he's coming into the Justice League movie. And that's who we know as Green Lantern.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That works for me.
And in my eyes, it's insane because it's history repeating itself from the comic book storyline, which should have never happened.
Yeah.
And then now it's happening in the movie world because the movie bombed. And the only way to bring Hal Jordan back is to ease in with Jon Stewart now, and then reveal
I'm
Hal
sure
Jordan
there are
was.
plenty of stories they could tell without having to do with the Sinestro Corps.
I think
it would have to
really
be
interesting
very
stories.
in order to set that up, though, it would have to be Jon Stewart and whatever other remaining Lanterns there are trying to rebuild the Corps, right? Trying to get it back up to
what Jeff Johns always
had.
says, it's not a Green Lantern story unless it's about overcoming fear, and that's what Sinestro Corps is, basically.
But again, like they would have to be the larger enemy in the trilogy, not the enemy in the first one.
I'm just saying, like, this is a way to get into Rebirth, then get into Sinestro Corps War, then get into Blackest
It could be that whole thing. Sinestro would be building his core the whole time Hal's gone, and then Hal comes back in time to face them when they're at their full strength.
And then they just come back
for
and
sure. Mark
War
Strong
exists.
back as Sinestro, right?
And like, the Sinestro Corps just exists, just like in Rebirth. Every like 5th page, you saw a yellow ring just flying to a planet, flying on an alien, right?
Yeah.
Just building the army.
Yeah. That's true, but you got to consider that the story. You have to understand that there's regular people that are going to go see the
I know, but it didn't work the first time around, and I'm just saying, if we're going to have a Justice League movie with all these fucking characters, let's just jump right in and just get it over with.
But you're okay with it being Jon Stewart only, or
if they have this plan to get Hal Jordan back.
But if they're not, what? I mean, I'm sure he'll come back later.
It's just disappointing.
Yeah, but it'd just be like the cartoon, which is the whole reason they put Jon Stewart into the cartoon is because they needed diversity. Is that what?
Yeah.
I would say that. Yeah, and like they invented these characters, and then new writers came in. Okay, let's make more Human Lanterns, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, there's
it wasn't
like
it was
4 or 5
supposed
of
to
them
happen.
now.
It just it happened, and now that's the continuity of it, right? Yeah. So we're going with that. Just like Batman, there's multiple Batmans now. It should not really. There shouldn't be 5 Batmans, whatever, or 4 Robins.
Yeah.
That's only because the comic book world.
Yeah, like 5 years now with the New 52. How did he have 5 Robins in
exactly?
And it's like that doesn't make any sense. And Nightwing's fully grown.
And so with the Green Lantern world, though, it just made sense to have more Human Lanterns, right?
Yeah.
So now it's just like a real thing, and now Jon Stewart's going to be potentially in this movie.
I hope so, and I think we said that. I think The Rock would make a good Jon Stewart, and
I mean, who else? Idris Elba obviously is cool.
Yeah,
like, that'd be awesome.
But
that'd be my first choice.
But he doesn't have the big name draw that you need to carry.
Well, he's getting
franchise
bigger, but he probably has ties with Marvel. So
yeah, but he's also not. He's not on the level of The Rock. They call The Rock the franchise Viagra.
Yeah, not at all. That's why he's perfect for that role.
And if you're gonna save a franchise, then you might as well put him in it. So the search is on for Doctor Strange.
We talked about this, didn't we?
Well, we rumored that it was gonna be
a chick.
No, Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Doom. Yeah,
that's Doctor Doom. It's gonna be that it was gonna be
Johnny Depp. I'm fine with that.
But I mean, he's such. I don't know. They don't like paying that much for actors, and he's probably expensive.
You never know.
If it wasn't going to be him, who would you have?
Oh, I can't picture anyone else in that role.
Literally,
you could.
No, the Dr. McDreamy wanted that role for a bit.
Dr. McDreamy.
Well, he's got the right name.
From Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He was like petitioning for that role.
Patrick Dempsey.
I could never see that guy as Doctor Strange.
He's a big fan.
But Johnny Depp, I can, because he can pull off all those looks, and he's got.
He definitely can be weird enough, but like.
Have you seen with that hair and?
He's always got like a little bit of goofiness to him, you know.
I think you need goofiness for.
No, Doctor Strange is more serious than anything else.
All the Marvel movies have comedy in them, all of them, and.
But that doesn't mean the main character has to be goofy. Like,
goofy. He's just gonna be really into whatever he's doing, like his magic potions or whatever.
Yeah, well, he's got to be believable that he's like that. He believes in this stuff. But he can also
just
still
really
be funny.
into it and funny and nerdy about it. Probably that's how I can picture it.
Yeah, like you have to be. Like, there's no way you can take that crazy, ridiculous magic stuff.
And then somehow he gets
Then
he gets creative control of it, realizes that he needs to use it for good, and like it can get serious, cool action moments and stuff. But I can just see him really obsessed with his magic and myths and stuff like that. Kind of thing.
Yeah, Phase 3 is interesting to me because it has it has Ant-Man. It's gonna have Doctor Strange, and now there's gonna be another one in there. Maybe not something new. Maybe a Cap 3. Maybe a Guardians 2. Depending on how Guardians does.
Yeah.
But
I think it'll do good.
I think, and then leading into Avengers 3, which is I think we think is gonna be a pretty epic storyline. Whether it's not gonna be Civil War, but we know it's leading to Thanos. But
and Guardians of the Galaxy, no one's you gotta realize this though. They're not just bringing these people in it for the hell of it. They're
gonna be involved.
Oh yeah.
there's a huge reason why this movie is out. And they're going to be heavily involved with Thanos.
They're the link between the Thanos, Earth, like they're what connects the two.
They're going to have a huge important role.
In Avengers 3, you think?
Just in launching something universe, forward in Avengers 3, sure. Just they're there.
Definitely. I think it's so weird though. Like, how could they have a huge important role when, like, if the main characters that people love the most are all on Earth and these guys are not ever with
because
them?
they're just bringing more to the story and connecting that kind of universe outer world to.
No, I get that, and it's important to have something that's like the Green Lanterns of the Marvel universe, whatever. But
and they're like the first line of defense, I would say, like outside of Earth's.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Fucking atmosphere. Earth's fucking atmosphere. Quote of the day. Jeremy, you'll like this.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you probably won't. Jai Courtney's cast as Kyle Reese in Terminator Genesis.
Who's Jai Courtney?
Jai Courtney is this
guy.
He's
from Spartacus.
Yeah.
That guy's just getting cast as everybody these days.
The son of he's in Die Hard.
Son of Die Hard?
Son of Die Hard.
And he was my original pick. He was my original pick for Lex Luthor in the Man of Steel sequel. Remember, I talked about this all the time.
No, I don't remember that. Oh, but I mean, yeah, you probably would.
Jai?
Jai, J-A-I.
Look at him. He'd be a perfect. What's it called?
Lex Luthor.
Bald guy.
Like he'd have the physicality. And
that's right. Have we ever? Did we ever talk to Jeremy about?
Oh yeah.
You haven't talked about it?
No.
Well, tell us.
Let's.
I like it, but I don't like that whole fucking.
Like skinhead,
tattoos.
Street smart, like
that's changing.
Well, not only that,
I don't know if he's a skinhead, but
not skinhead. Sorry, like just the gang and the tattoos.
Like can you ever imagine him being
a smart
head of a gang?
He looks nerdy. Like he's really intelligent.
I can believe him as being Mark Zuckerberg, but I can't believe him as being a gang lord. You know.
I think it's a good choice, but I was looking more forward to a Jai Courtney, whatever, like
someone
imposing,
bigger.
Like
someone you could see being the president at some
human
point,
being
right?
type person, right?
Yeah.
Who just wants more
perfection.
Work out.
I don't know.
Well, people always say it's like if someone were to ever elect him as president, you think everyone would ever elect fucking Mark Zuckerberg as president? No.
And the thing is, he would never have been cast if it wasn't for that Facebook movie, I don't think.
Yeah, no, there's no fucking way.
Because he was brilliant in that movie and very maniacal and evil and dark.
I don't think he was evil in that movie.
It was certain scenes, he was very evil sounding. Everyone was like a little kid when he taught, he just put everybody down.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially in those
when he was like in the boardroom.
Boardroom scenes, like just awesome stuff. So based on that movie alone, like I'm happy about the casting, but I wanted more of an imposing kind of
I think
character.
most people did. It's weird. I feel like people were more upset about Ben Affleck as Batman, obviously, because Batman's the main character.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like people weren't as upset about this one as you'd expect them to be.
No, because it is different, right? Because the Lex Luthor we've gotten already are the older, kind of smarter people. And then I wanted just like a younger, kind of on the same level as Superman and them, but they went even kind of below that, like younger, kind of emo-ish, you could say.
Hipster.
Hipster-ish, I guess. So, whatever.
People keep saying that Kevin Spacey's is potentially still playing Lex Luthor in House of Cards.
He's pretty badass in House of Cards.
I'm
gonna go home and watch that tonight. Actually,
it's a good show.
It's amazing.
So speaking of hoping for good shows, Gotham has cast a new villain. So Jada Pinkett, who was in
Jada Pinkett Smith, or just
Jada Pinkett Smith, yeah, who was in Matrix, obviously.
For like what?
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
Half a movie?
Yeah. Anyway, she's gonna play. She's gonna
be a
video
game.
She was a big part of the second movie.
I don't know what big.
What video game?
She was like
the captain of her own. Yeah.
Her and that Asian dude were like the main characters in that one sick video game.
Yeah, Matrix, the video game.
Revelation.
She plays her and Ghost.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, it's a good game. Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
They did like the bullet time. You could like go sideways and dive in bullet time and all
so
this.
So the multiplayer was badass.
Really?
Yeah.
When did this game? Like, it was GameCube, right?
Yeah. There's a couple on the GameCube and PS2. Yeah.
Really?
Xbox.
I must have
There's
played
one game with just those two characters. So weird.
Yeah, there's no way you could make a game like that now.
No, that's like making a Thor video game with like just two of his...
with just like that skinny dude with the bow.
Banjo and Hogan. And
yeah.
Man, did you guys... they recasted that?
Yeah, you noticed.
No, I noticed. It's just funny how it's that Chuck guy or whatever.
Chuck from
Chuck. Yeah. Like, why do they even do that? I don't get
well, why not? Because the other guy, I don't know. I'm guessing there's some sort of contract issues. But anyway, so Jada Pinkett Smith's gonna be playing a villain in Gotham. She's gonna be like a mob boss, like a ruthless mob boss that like the Penguin, who probably isn't being called the Penguin yet. He'll probably just be.
I feel like the show is gonna suck. Just so you guys know, I just don't feel like it's gonna.
Well, yeah. I just think I have no faith.
Have that on record, and we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens, but I feel like it's gonna suck.
I don't know, man.
I'd much rather see Batman.
It's so weird because the story's gonna start at Batman's 10. Like, who wants to?
It's just gonna be Gordon dealing with the
mob,
the mob, and the bad cops and the crooked cops, and him.
Yeah. So yeah, Daniel Logue was cast as Harvey Bullock as well. So Harvey Bullock's in there. It looks like that. He's got a beard.
Yeah, that guy is fucking crazy in Sons of Anarchy.
But
he's also in Blade, one of the Blade movies too.
How do you know all these things just offhand? Like, I wish I knew, like, that had like those kind of that memory for that kind of thing.
And the guy from the OC is James Gordon, which is freaking weird, but that's pretty weird.
Yeah, but like he was also.
Apparently, he's a huge DC fan because he's been in Year One. So.
There was Batman in Year One.
Yeah, so that's
brutal
cool.
as Batman in Year One.
Yeah, no, that was probably the worst Batman, but that's okay because he's not going as Batman. He's gonna be Gordon. He'd be a good Gordon, a young Gordon.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I don't think he's the worst actor.
Glowing praise from Jeremy. He's not the worst actor.
He's already copping stealth.
And the Oscar for not the worst actor goes to. So no Fallout, no new Fallout for a while apparently. You guys,
video game?
Yeah, no new Fallout game for a while.
This is really out of whack.
These are all random. I know because I usually put them into order and that makes sense. So it has a flow. But
no
these are all
Fall Out Boy album for the next.
Big disappointment. Not the worst band though, right?
They're up there.
It feels unprofessional this way, you know.
So there's Star Wars casting rumor. Jack Rayner. Star of Jack Rayner.
What are you saying?
I'm thinking Jack Reacher. It's because his name just sounds like a fucking like superhero name, but it's actually his name, Jack Rayner.
Star of what?
Star of Transformers, the movie that hasn't come out yet. This guy.
Okay.
Anyway, so he's apparently being looked at for episode 7. You could see him maybe as like a Han Solo.
He could be anything. He's just a fucking guy.
Well, no, it couldn't be anything.
It's a fucking human being.
Fucking thing.
No, but like in like a key
I hate
role.
all these Star Wars rumors.
Yeah,
it's like
brutal.
they're not even saying who he's being considered as or anything. It's just like,
well, no,
this guy might be in this movie sometime.
We don't even know the character's gonna be in the movie.
So what's the point of
all
even
it
having
is
a rumor?
like
Who
these
gives a
guys
shit?
are going into the studio a lot with like audition papers. And okay, well, he's obviously rumored for Star Wars. Like that's all they're saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, they talked about Gary Oldman being rumored for a role last week. I think he'd be good for Star Wars. I think he fits with that.
Sure.
For some reason, I want them to just go with like unknown actors this time around. For some reason.
Okay, so they did that obviously with the original series because it was a new series, right? Like the original with like there was no big name actors in episodes 4, 5, and 6, right? It was all mostly no name people.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah. But then, they're famous.
Also, at the time, it was
Well, James Earl Jones had been in stuff, but like he wasn't a big name actor.
Yeah,
and then when they
but it was also like a new thing.
When they did 1, 2, and 3, they did a mix of both, kind of.
Yeah, so then you had stuff like you had Mace Windu, and you had like
Obi-Wan. It makes sense to have famous people.
Obi-Wan was
Jedis.
Yeah, well, Obi-Wan.
He was still pretty famous.
Maybe,
I would say he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he was like. I wouldn't think he was a big name.
He was a pretty big name.
I feel like he's less of a big name now, even after doing Star Wars.
Big Fish.
Big Fish is a great movie, by the way. I just talked about Big Fish today.
I hate that movie.
I just talked about Big Fish
It's
today.
heartwarming.
That's a great
movie. I don't
movie.
want to watch that movie ever again.
What? I don't like. I don't like feeling warm inside.
Whatever.
Anyway, Ewan McGregor, I liked it as.
He was perfect as Obi-Wan.
But I think he just got some shitty dialogue, and then he had to.
Well, sure.
Yeah, the best he could was shitty dialogue.
Yeah.
I think they did no name casting for Anakin. And how'd that turn out?
Jumper.
Right. But like no,
was
like
that Awake movie.
Like, no, that guy's a fucking terrible actor.
Hayden Christensen. He was in other shit before Star Wars. I don't know if he wasn't a no name.
But like, he's not a big name. He's not a big name, right? Like,
I just think it'd be cool if they just went all no name kind of. But it does make sense to get established.
But then you have stuff like
cool actors.
You had like Qui-Gon Jinn, and that was a great casting.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Like, it'd be cool to
but he also wasn't huge then.
Famous people like that to play the Jedis, like the Master Jedis.
But there's no Jedis.
Well, there are some. Like that's like Gary Oldman would be one of those kind of a more high-profile name, and he would
kind
be
like a leadership role.
So he was a Jedi that was in hiding during the whole rebellion.
Judicious. Keep going.
Yeah, he was on a mission somewhere.
No, there's no missions. The Jedi Council is gone.
It doesn't matter.
The universe is freaking huge. Yeah. It could be anywhere.
Not all the Jedi were killed.
No, obviously not.
So
if Obi-Wan can survive, anyone can survive.
He could still be out there. That's not a huge leap.
And they could have a Jedi homeworld or something.
Like, well, why was he not involved in the rebellion in any way?
Or he was, and he just wasn't killed.
Yeah. He fought off his
he had like that's the thing.
But the whole thing with the New Hope,
it's an entire galaxy.
I get it, but like
billions of planets.
The whole New Hope thing is that there was a new Jedi. You know, like the Jedi, like that was.
No, he was the one. He was the one who would bring balance to the Force.
Yeah,
he wasn't the only Jedi. He was the one that the prophecy spoke about.
No, I'm talking about Luke.
Yeah, Luke.
Okay, but Luke, that was part of the prophecy.
Luke would change the balance. He would, you know what I mean? Like everyone, like, there could be Jedis around, but they're not going to do shit.
There's Sith. There's still Sith. Even like technically, I think. The whole time that the Palpatine and the Empire are taking over, there are other Sith in the galaxy.
I think there's the whole rule of the rule of two or whatever. What's that?
No, I mean like the
is that official,
older Sith.
Is that official?
I don't know how official that is.
Is that it's expanded?
No, I think what the rule of two thing.
Yeah.
I don't think so because
no. I think not. No, you know what? It is. I'm almost positive it is because in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. There was, so, spoilers for Star Wars The Clone Wars. Darth Maul comes back with robot legs. And, because you can do that in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And, Darth Sidious has to go and kill him because he can't, like, he already has a new apprentice. Mm-hmm. Right? So there can't be another Sith. Point. So he literally goes on a mission to kill him because there can't be another more than two.
Yeah, they probably do that because they need all the power from the dark side for themselves.
Well, no, but yeah, I guess. But either way, that they talk about, they never specifically say the rule of two or whatever, which I don't think it's called that.
No, because there are definitely others. I mean, maybe it's like the master and the apprentice thing. Yeah. Maybe there's only two. Like, but I don't know. Even then, like, even Next to the Public, there's a million accolades. Like, I think the whole the whole Empire and all like everything that the Star Wars movies take place at a time when the Sith is at its lowest, and the Jedi they have taken over. And the whole point is that it's imbalanced because the Jedi have all the power. That's why the Sith take over a little bit, and that is bringing the Force into balance. So by the end of Episode 6, the Force has been brought into balance. The Jedi were wiped out to a certain extent, but not completely. The Sith gained a little bit of power.
And it's all about destiny.
And then at the end, it's like there's almost like there's no like both are wiped out. You know, there's no Sith or Jedi. There's no large good guy force or bad guy force. They're just, you know, the balance the Force and then start fresh.
I guess, yeah.
So that's what Episode 7, 8, 9 are going to be. It'll be
maybe
the remnants of the dark side, the remnants of the light side, creating a new world. And they're obviously there's going to be conflict.
Well, okay, so there's got to be another. There has to be another Sith somewhere because the two Sith are killed at the end of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The whole point of the Sith is that Palpatine or Darth Sidious, whatever, he's not an actual Sith. He's it's like a religion. He that he subscribes to.
Yeah, but so is Jedi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those teachings still exist.
Yeah, I never believed in it. I guess that the Sith were a race at some point.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of stupid to me. I like the idea of it being, and we don't know if that's even canon. The thing with Star Wars is because of all this expanded universe stuff. How do you know it's canon? Which I think they're fixing now. But like the whole idea of the Sith being a race is not as interesting as the Sith and Jedi being different viewpoints on the Sith on the same
but then
power source.
Yeah, okay. But okay, just calling them Sith like that doesn't change that. It's the light side and the dark side is the balance of power that you're talking about.
Of the Force.
Yeah. I think the cool thing about the Sith as a race is that it was always said that they colonized Korriban and they started this whole thing and then they were gone. But they weren't extinct. It was that they were just an omnipresent threat that could come back, and that it was always prophesied that it would come back,
like Mass Effect.
Yeah, like they're like the Reapers. Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, like, you can play around with that kind of stuff. I doubt that's what they're doing with 7, 8, 9.
I'd be very surprised if
But that could be where the dark side comes, or remnants of... Either way, remnants of the Sith is going to be where the dark side comes.
Well, if they're going anything with, like, the expanded universe stuff, which I think they might do some. Like, I think they've already said they're going to pick up things here and there, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't in the expanded universe that one of the children of Luke and
no, one of Han Solo and Leia's kids.
Oh, okay, Han and Solo. Okay, yeah.
To the dark side.
Okay.
But Luke and Mara Jade have kids too, even though
Who's Mara Jade?
See, Mara Jade.
You see, Mary Jade.
Mara Jade. I don't know. I don't fully remember. Mara Jade is she's like an assassin. She's like very high up in the Empire. She's not force sensitive that she knows of. During the whole Empire, like the whole rebellion and all that stuff, she's just a high-ranking, like, ruthless, evil person. Mm-hmm. And then after the fall of the Empire, she, like, Luke turns her, like, they fall in love or whatever, and like, he, like, turns her, like, he redeems her. Mm-hmm. But then they have a kid. I think they only have one. I think Luke and Leia, or Han Solo and Leia have 3.
Yeah, 2. Okay, 3. They for sure have a boy and a girl.
I think Jason's the bad one. I don't remember all their names.
Yeah.
But even then, like you say, like, what's canon? I don't know if that's, like, just random stories or if that's what they're going with or they're going to adapt it.
They should for sure name one of their kids Obi. But anyway, I think we're all excited for Star Wars Episode 7, to say the least. I just want there to be more news about it at some point, you know?
Yeah, and not news that, like, this person walked into the building, so he's considered for a role somewhere, because... I mean, mind you, it sparked a pretty good conversation just now. But...
Exactly. That's what it's about, man. The Avengers 2 is going to film in South Korea, because if they're not in enough places already, you know, like, they're already in South Africa. They're all about the Souths. They're going to go to South America next.
South Sudan. South Dakota. West Virginia.
So... Speaking of Chris Pratt.
No.
Anyway, no, that wasn't a good one. But he talked about his role in Jurassic World.
Awesome.
Yeah, and
what did he say?
Kind of going back to the roots of what made Jurassic Park great. So,
dinosaurs.
Interesting.
Well, he talked about his character, whatever. He's saying he's got a little bit of Goldblum cynicism. He's got a little bit of the Goldblum cynicism, but also the Sam Neill excitement of the wonder of biology. Oh, and it's a combination.
Moving on.
We wanted to explain that why anyone would think cloning dinosaurs after the catastrophic events of the first 3 movies was still a good idea. He said what I liked about it was it answered the question of why would you do that.
Like, how would you potentially cures cancer?
Like, quote,
T-Rex semen.
Quote, what I like about it.
So we're doing it again.
Quote, what I like about it is it answers the question of why would you do that? Like, how would you suspend disbelief to be like, oh yes, let's make this mistake again. We haven't learned our lesson about dinosaurs. We should definitely live with them and see how that works
cures
out.
AIDS and cancer, then everyone will be on board.
After like 3 tries at it, they answer the question really well, though. The script Colin did a great job of writing, justifying it, and his own way, having fun with it. So anybody who goes with that answer, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they're going to find a way of justifying why that would happen, which, again, probably not, T-Rex semen.
But like, don't count it out.
Also, do T-Rexes have semen?
You can assume so.
Do lizards have semen?
You can assume so.
Dinosaurs.
The answer's that.
They're not. They're closer related to birds than they are to lizards.
Do birds have semen?
I think they do.
Birds again.
No, they do. They probably do.
Back, and I think
full circle.
Yeah,
we gotta close it out with that.
We are. So yeah, this is episode 27.
Pretty sure birds have semen. They have to. Everything has semen.
I feel like I want to name this episode "Does it have semen?" Dude, birds have semen.
How come we've looked up everything else but not that? Like that's the.
You looked up the semenology or whatever it was.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever
heard. I want to know.
Well, while he's doing that, this is episode 27. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. We make sure to talk about everything semen. I mean everything movies and
Power of Tablet podcast.
What was that? First episode, second episode.
Yeah, you gotta get that sound clip.
Go ahead.
I think I deleted it.
The first couple hits on Google. Do birds have ears? Do birds have sex? Do birds have testicles?
Do birds have testicles? Well, that answers both questions. If you answer the semen one, the testicles one's answered.
Birds do not have the same reproductive body parts as mammals.
Yeah, obviously.
They store sperm. They do have sperm in a cloaca until the opportunity to mate arises, and the females will receive that sperm in their cloaca.
How?
I'm clicking it. It's not going.
Cloaca. What's a cloaca? Is that like a sack? Is it like it's a type of a sack for sure? Does it go through the mouth? Maybe that'd be weird.
That website. Oh, it goes. It goes through their cloaca.
Yeah, but where is that located? Is it on their back? On their head?
Oh my god, this person wrote a whole bunch of crap that I don't want to read.
Okay,
anyway, yeah, so episode 27. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Make sure to visit our site, towerbabblepodcast.com. BABBLE.
They don't have penises or testicles.
Oh, well, there you go. So they,
like the new
but they do have semen. Well, yeah, there's probably going to be a new logo coming out right away, by the way.
It protrudes. Like, it's like an erection, but it's called a cloaca. It's not a penis. It's in their body.
How do you spell cloaca?
C-L-O-A-C-A.
Is it anything like Bill Marlowe or Guillermo?
Guillermo. Guillermo.
We'll see you guys next week.
Well, that was really the end? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Jeremy, say bye.
Bye.
All right.